Let me tell you a story. It's October of 2024 and the London Film Festival has officially kicked off. Now they have a partnership with many cinemas in the United Kingdom, which makes it that some of the films playing in the festival are able to be screened across the UK so that other film fans are able to get in there early and see some of their most anticipated films of the year. Last year I decided to go and see Anora and A Real Pain. There was one film that kind of caught my eye, but in the end I didn't bother going to see it, and that film goes by the name of I'm Still Here. Although the synopsis interested me, I decided this film isn't going to be one on my radar, I'm just going to leave it. Fast forward to 3 months later in January of 2025, the Oscar nominees are announced, and among them is I'm Still Here. As I sat there that day and seeing I'm Still Here pop up, I had one thought in my mind. Why didn't I go and see this in October? I finally saw I'm Still Here, the film that everyone is stressing to get done before their Oscar race is over, although Death by the Numbers is definitely a close second. I made a terrible mistake not going to see this early, as I kind of just wrote it off as, oh, I'll get round to it eventually. I'm glad that it's been nominated though, and it's given attention to people to pay attention to this, as this is one of my favourite nominees. The film is set in 1970s Brazil as the country was overtaken by a military dictatorship, and it's based on true events and real life people. The movie is based on the memoir written by Marcelo Rubens Pievas, who plays the son of Fernando Torres' character in the movie. Her husband goes missing, and basically the entire plot is trying to figure out what actually happened to him and where he is. Not a very happy subject matter, but I think that's important for a film like this because obviously this is a real life event and it's important to portray it exactly how it happened and how bleak the situation was, not just for this character, but for the country as a whole. Listing off some things I love, I will start off by saying something very bold. I have been rooting for Demi Moore since September, and now I'm on the fence. Although the race this year is definitely a 3-person race, for me, if it went to either of these 3, I'd be fine, but personally, I would give it to Fernando Torres because this performance absolutely beams off the screen and hits so much harder than most performances I've seen in a while. I've never seen a cinema react to a performance and a film in this way in a long time, where you could feel the devastation in the room. People were distraught. I can't believe they were using this fucking image to promote the movie the whole time. This is the most harrowing scene in the entire movie, and truth be told, I really would like her to get her flowers. The runtime is fantastic. I think it runs just under 2 hours 20 and it never feels that length. The story kind of flows in this perfect narrative that feels incredibly important. No scene feels wasted, and every single one of them sheds a spotlight onto some important matters at the time. It's actually kind of crazy with the editing as well, because that first 20 minutes is like a completely different film. You know that it's going to take a dark turn and everything's not going to be too great as it goes along, but you're kind of living in the moment in those 20 minutes. You feel like you're in Brazil and you're having a good time with this family during the summer or the winter, whatever they call it there. And then all of a sudden the film takes a completely different turn and everything just turns absolutely miserable. Some great song choices here as well. The score is actually really fantastic, and I feel like that's one of the most overlooked parts of the movie. Not a lot of people are talking about that, but the score comes in at very subtle points and it works to perfection. It hits the right notes, it does exactly what it needs to do. Regarding its best picture chances, is it possible? I mean, we'll see. I think films like this are incredibly important, as although this dictatorship is probably something that a lot of people are pretty common with and they know that it happened, someone like me, I had no idea about any of this, and it's an important story to tell. I'm just very glad they got a chance to tell it. If there's any nominees that you haven't seen yet and you're trying to see, or in general you just want a good film to see, I'm Still Here comes out very shortly everywhere, and I highly recommend it because you will walk out of this film absolutely disappointed in the earth and the people that inhabit it. Gotta give a big shout out to the entirety of Brazil as well, because this is a film that clearly is quite small and independent to some degree. The most marketing I've seen for it has been from the people of Brazil as a whole. They've been promoting the shit out of this, and fair play to them, because if no one else is going to promote your film, at least you can do it, and they're doing an amazing job. You look at my Oscar reactions video, half the comments are just Brazilians coming out showing support for Fernanda, and I love that. I love that sense of community and love that they have for this film, and the performance and the portrayal. Here's hoping that the Oscars shed some light. It would actually kind of be insane if it won international feature over Emilia Perez, but I'm here for it.